Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news where the PlayStation itself literally wants to get banned by overall really big senators in the United States government, where I wish I was kind of clickbaiting this or talking about this in a slightly weirder way, but this is kind of crazy to go and see that now the actual United States government is going against PlayStation, and at the end of the day, it's actually kind of a bigger news than we're all kind of expecting. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about the fact that a North Dakota senator even wants to go and take out PlayStation and Sony themselves, and well, overall, just a lot more gaming drama than we all be expecting is happening as of right now. And of course, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. Make sure you guys give your thoughts and comments down below. Also, the Twitter and Twitch from down below if you guys would like to go and follow. Would love to have you guys on either side. And of course, all the Amazon links right now down below for all the consoles going up on sale. So let's go talk about this kind of somewhat crazy, juicier news because, well, I kind of feel like PlayStation may have maybe bit the hand that was trying to go and feed them, and especially for them trying to go and insert themselves in this big Xbox acquisition and like the CMA and all the other big European and Brazilian government bodies. And now kind of seems like even the American companies and American big business that are watching the stuff, like in regards to the government, etc., are now being a little bit more cautious. And well, let's go and talk about this a decent bit. So, as you guys can see over here, North Dakota's senator actually now wants to go and see the PlayStation's exclusivity deals and wants to go discuss it, potentially go and stop them. And as well, it's now becoming a really big talking point when it comes to America, when it comes to the actual global, basically economy, I guess, when it comes to like video games and video games as a whole. So Senator Kevin Cramer over here is in the latest politician to call out Sony PlayStation over its exclusive gaming deals, adding to the bizarre side drama now spinning off of Microsoft's $69 billion attempt to buy Activision Blizzard. Now, this is why it's actually also a bit on the crazier side, too, because it does actually seem like that American politics are now actually almost calling out Sony, and they're actually not in favor of Sony. It kind of seems like this from the initial first, kind of call out for this. So, driving the news. So, basically, Kramer sent a letter on April 13th to the Sony CEO of Kenichiro Yoshida, expressing concerns now about Sony's efforts to protect its gaming console business from competition. So once again, this kind of seems like it's biting the hand that's trying to go and feed them, and then almost overstepping has now brought even more kind of negative press towards Sony and PlayStation, to the fact where it actually may have almost been better for them to kind of be quiet and go and accept this 10-year deal that was initially offered. Now, for me, my initial kind of thoughts when it came to this big Activision drama and all of that, I was kind of assuming like it wasn't going to go through. Like the government bodies were very watchful on Microsoft. They've had issues before. They just had like the $9 billion Bethesda deal go through. And in my mind, it does make sense. It just seems like Activision's a huge, huge gaming company worth $70 billion, which is absolutely massive. So I kind of initially thought it wasn't really going to go through. But now it kind of seems like everything keeps on favoring more and more and more towards Microsoft's side. Kramer is asking Sony now to provide unredacted copies, so like non-censored copies of all, like literally all agreements that provide Sony with any exclusive rights to distribute a game developed by an independent publisher, meaning deals behind even PlayStation exclusive games such as Final Fantasy 16 that also is, as of right this second, not currently announced from Microsoft or Xbox. So, that's all huge as is. Like, there's been quite a few of these backroom deals. Xbox probably knows about some of them. If you guys remember, both Deathloop and as well Ghostwire Tokyo were technically locked in contractually with Bethesda, and that was also because the contracts were already signed and kind of going through. They had exclusive rights for the games, etc. Like, they were already pretty much confirmed for PlayStation. So, I mean, if anything, they probably had a chance to read those contracts themselves from Microsoft. But the other big thing is that there are some other kind of underground deals, whether it comes to games like PlayStation Plus, whether it comes to especially games of Square Enix. As you guys probably know, Final Fantasy is a very, they've been very kind of close-knit with PlayStation. They just did their state of play. And at the end of the day, you could just go and tell that they have like a nice little underground agreement going on. So they almost want to have this, like this government body wants to see this and leak this and know this information, which in theory then once again means that we might have a chance to see this all publicly, which would be kind of maybe really bad for PlayStation, but as well also really then good for Xbox or Nintendo or Steam or Nvidia, who may want to go work in their contract deals. They'd be like, oh hey, they only had to pay $10 million or have a front page promotion for Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, sure, we're Xbox. We'll pay $11 million. We'll match it. Why not that? Or we'll give you $20 million. Put it on Game Pass. We'll see what's up. And I feel this could be an awful, awful situation for PlayStation as a whole. This government, the senator is also asking for agreements that bar publishers from releasing games on rival subscription or streaming services, like on Xbox's Game Pass. So once again, we've also seen rumors that Sony sometimes will be like, hey, we'll give you like $1 million, keep everything exclusive, keep everything kind of chill and raw, and we can kind of go from there. Now, for me, that's once again really bad for PlayStation and also probably really good for Xbox because now they kind of know what the competition's against them. Now, I'm kind of feeling a little bit bad on this though because once again, I do like PlayStation. I'm on PlayStation stuff. I like both of them, obviously, but it is a little bit on the. I feel like it's very one-sided for kind of calling out PlayStation. Although the counterpoint would be they did go and put their hand in the cage, and that's kind of what happens if they want to try to go and overstep or try to push like these exclusive rights or the fact that PlayStation might be ruining stuff, because there is also deals that definitely are in PlayStation's favor. Good examples even on Call of Duty, where Call of Duty does get the early access for, well, PlayStation, or they also have the additional maps or all that type of stuff. So you see that. And guess what? Now they're going to have a chance to go and see these contracts and have to make them public when it comes to legal law. So Kramer also wants to see Sony's internal strategy documents around its 2022 purchase of Destiny maker Bungie, plus all correspondence with federal or state regulators over competition in gaming. So they want to go and see every email or call or meeting or like group meeting or whatever it may have happened when it comes to PlayStation and when it comes to their deals. Once again, they're kind of crazy to go and see this at the end of the day, mainly because like this is just a lot of really big stuff. Like this is a big billion-dollar company, and obviously is all related towards the Xbox case, but I just kind of feel like this is a lot. Like we're not even seeing this information when it comes to Xbox coming out or being public. We saw quite a bit of leaks though, like not to like kind of make it a little bit smaller or whatever. But when it comes to stuff, it's like, this is a lot of big details coming out for this. So also U.S. politicians who really weigh right in on the video game industry have recently found reason to question whether Sony is conducting business in a way that is actually unfairly squeezing Microsoft and other gaming companies, though they keep only naming Microsoft. And this also could maybe be kind of a big point. It could even seem like that Sony might be like, hey, we're number one leader, so let's try to go and like edge out these other side things because, well, we'll be making a lot of money from, say, Call of Duty. We just don't want to lose it forever. Or maybe a good example is like the exclusivity rights when it comes to certain games. That also, once again, is a very, very big thing. So overall, the government's not happy with this. They want to go and see what's happening. They want to see more information, at least for this senator in particular. Sony has also pressed regulators in the UK, EU, and the US to block this deal out of the concern it'll let Microsoft buy its way to an overwhelming advantage, especially if it pulls Activision's Call of Duty from the PlayStation markets. And they also have, once again, as you guys probably know, Microsoft does not want to make it only appear exclusive for them. So it's kind of a very crazy thing. Keep on going to go and see this overall. Where you guys can even see for this one, too, between the lines. Basically, Senator Kramer's letter echo points in some market share data expressed in letters signed by the 11 other members in Congress last month. Those letters allege that Sony's behavior in the industry hurts Microsoft, among other American businesses. So it's kind of an intriguing viewpoint, too, as well, where it kind of seems like since Microsoft is an American-based company, if they go and make money, they have to pay taxes on that money. If they have employees, they basically help the American economy. So obviously, America wants to make sure that Microsoft is doing well. Same with PlayStation. PlayStation does have its own American offices, but also is like just depending on like where you're getting taxed and such. So this is kind of a bigger deal because they want to make sure both these two American companies can keep on growing themselves and expanding together rather than one trying to go and like basically trip over the other one while the other one's trying to do the same exact thing, which is basically stopping inhibition and growth for the overall economy. So Kramer cast Sony as a hypothetical opponent of Microsoft's Activision deal and describes Sony's lobbying of the Federal Trade Commission about it as anti-competition competitive conduct. So basically they're trying to go and say like, hey, like we understand you guys are competitive, sure, but you guys trying to block this deal straight up just because it's like a wah is me type situation. They don't think that's a proper competition between the two. So it's a very intriguing thing nonetheless, because this is just like the United States government themselves trying to go ban this deal and basically yelling at PlayStation as a whole. In his letter, Kramer justifies weighing in on the Sony's conduct by noting that the game industry has a $20.6 million impact on the state's economy and is responsible for around 221 jobs with the potential to grow to 6,320 jobs in the next 10 years. So basically, once again, they just want to make sure the American economy is still doing well. They want to make sure they're not trying to go and trip over each other. They want to expand this out, make it more money, and they don't want to have this competition or lack of competition or these blocking of deals affecting everything else. So Microsoft has previously acknowledged that the government affairs team has discussed issues around Sony's games industry conduct with members of Congress, and at this point it's kind of like almost a bigger kind of call out that it does seem like Microsoft is also, I guess, aware of this, and they want to go and fight this. So it actually might be really big news for guards for Xbox when it comes to seems like maybe the American government's like, hey, Let's go and see what happens here. And a lot of folks were assuming the American government would stop this a lot. And as well, it kind of seems to be bad for PlayStation, where the government literally wants to ban the console. They want to go ban this deal. They want to go yell at them in the first place. And it's a little bit of a sketchy situation nonetheless. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Follow the Amazon links for all the consoles down below, with the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below too as well.